And for this round of little interviews, we have Luci Christian.
Hi.
This is the NinjaWriter, a little local place out here.
Oh, fun.
Blog and stuff, we like talking about fun people and events and stuff.
That's awesome.
We've got some questions in here. You can draw like up to 3.
All right.
And we'll see what kind of answers we get.
Okay, here we go. Yes. All right. How have your life experiences shaped your acting style? I definitely think that my life experiences have encouraged me to be very free with my expression. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
Like, and that's half the battle, is just being kind of open enough to be able to play. Certainly, too, I ended up going to grad school at LSU and had a bunch of extra voice training. And I used to have a really thick accent because I'm from Texas.
Oh.
And they beat it out of me. So, I didn't realize that voice work was going to be such a big deal in my life. But that certainly shaped my life and how I use my voice, for sure. Oh, I like that question. All right,
my boyfriend came up with some good ones.
That's good. Y'all did a good job. What was the first movie or show you remember seeing that made an impact on you? Bambi. I was 2. We were at the theater. My mom said, I was sitting on her lap, and my mom said, I looked up and I went, "Where'd Bambi's mama go?" And then realization sort of hit, and I began to scream, and she took me out of the theater.
No.
So that is my very first record.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that funny? You
Yeah.
know there were probably like delightful things that I saw. I just happened to know that one, right? Remember that one.
There's actually an Animaniacs episode about that. It's called Bumby's Mom.
Oh my gosh.
It has that exact same premise.
That is so great. I'll have to go check that out.
And last one is your
Last one is, what does a perfect day look like to you? I fear that it will be boring.
Oh.
But my perfect day is I get up, me and my husband drink coffee. We do our New York Times games. I get dressed and go record a little bit because it's really fun, and I work with my friends and I love it. I come home, I work out with my trainer, which I don't love but makes me feel really, really awesome. I cook dinner for my kids, and we end the day probably watching some movie and just hanging out. It's a pretty good day. And then I go to bed early because I'm lame like that.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I'm right-handed, but
Thank you.
thank you.
Yay, bye.